What's going on, everybody? My name is Mike Montgomery from Modern Builds, and today I'm going to show you how to build the easiest to make picnic table in the world. How, you might ask? Because everything is a right angle. Now I'm going to have plans, a cut list, all that kind of stuff on my website, so make sure and check out that link in the description if you're going to build this project for yourself. Now let's get started.
This video is brought to you by Wrangler Riggs Workwear. I started this project by getting all of my 2x6s and cutting a lot of them to length. It was nice being able to cut a lot of the pieces at the beginning of the project instead of to fit like I normally do. The main structure of the table is built around these two leg assemblies. Each one has a 2x4 top rail that the tabletop boards are going to attach to, and then a 2x6 rail on the bottom that the benches are going to attach to. Now, after I had one side done, I flipped it over and I used my square to make sure that I had boards on the other side that lined up exactly square with the others. Here, I'm attaching two 2x4 stretchers to the tops of the leg assemblies. Notice I had to take away one of the 2x4s from the leg assemblies on the inside. That's just part of prototyping. I also had to remove the 2x6 stretcher on the outside of the leg assemblies so that I could screw in a third 2x4 stretcher in the center of the table. And now that I knew I had a sturdy base to work with, I could start attaching my 2x6 slats for the tabletop. Now I started by just centering the first one, then using these 3/8 inch spacers between each board. This made sure that if I had my first board square, all the rest would reference that one and stay square. Then I used my speed square to make reference lines for where I needed to start my bench slats, and I used that same spacer again to keep everything even and square.
So I guess now it's kind of time for the moment of truth. I'm not gonna lie, I'm worried about these two legs. They're pretty close to the center of the table. I'm thinking there's like a 60-40 chance that they're too narrow and the table will want to tip if you get too many people on one side. If that is the case, don't worry, I still got a backup plan, but I wanted to try this first. If it does work, then it's totally worth it. It means that you only need one set of legs. If it doesn't work, I'll just cut two more short legs that'll sit directly underneath the seats. Let's give it a shot. Proportions, yeah. I think this could be a problem. Although I will say, proportions are looking great. We just need to fix these legs real quick.
So the easiest thing I could think of was just to get my Sawzall out and cut those legs flush, and then install my new ones. Of course, the plans on my website will all be updated for the new legs, so don't worry about that. And while I had my tabletop upside down, I figured it was a good opportunity to go ahead and add some extra 2x4 bracing.
And I want to give a huge thanks to our sponsor this week that made this project possible, the Wrangler Riggs line of workwear. For the past couple days, I've been wearing my new Riggs outfit by Wrangler, and I've got to say, the Cool Vantage technology that is incorporated in the denim has been great in the 95-degree Oklahoma weather. The jeans are designed to wick away moisture and keep you cooler in the heat. One of the things that I really like is the reinforced pocket for your tape measure. I've got my tape measure on my hip quite a bit throughout the day, especially working on an outdoor project like this. It was really nice. Something else that was super handy is the built-in loop in the pocket of the shirt. How handy is that? No matter how much I'm bending over or moving around, the pencil stays in my pocket and easy to reach. So thanks again to Wrangler for sponsoring this video. Make sure and check out the Riggs line of workwear. Links down in the description. Let's get moving. So the new legs are on, and to be honest, I think I like this look a little bit more. It's a little more balanced and it looks more stable, which is important. So I guess now it's just time for the moment of truth. Again, here we go. Oh yeah, that's really good. All right, time for the real test, right? I would call that pretty good.
Then I used a straight edge with my circular saw to clean up the edges.
Now I am going to be putting a clear coat on the table, but not yet. I'm going to wait a couple weeks. The wood got rained on yesterday, so it's still wet because of that. Not to mention when you buy lumber at Lowe's or Home Depot, it tends to have a high moisture content, the construction lumber. So I'm going to give it a couple weeks and I'm going to put this finish on then. In the meantime though, I'm going to sand everything to 120 grit and I'm going to break the edges too. That way none of the edges are sharp.
So I'm pumped with how this table came out. Compared to a normal A-frame picnic table, this one is way more unique looks a lot more custom and honestly has a little bit of a modern or contemporary edge to it compared to a traditional table.
So like I said, I am really happy with how this project came out, especially for being able to build the whole thing in just an afternoon. And that was with me prototyping the whole thing together and figuring it all out as I went. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you're gonna build this project for yourself, make sure and check out the link in the description to my website. I'm gonna have written plans, a cut list, a materials and supplies list, everything you'll need to be able to build this for yourself. I want to give one more huge thanks to Wrangler Rigs for sponsoring this video and supporting awesome woodworking content. If you're interested in checking out the Rigs line by Wrangler, I'll have a link in the description for that as well. If you have any questions about this project, be sure and leave me a comment or hit me up on Instagram, whichever is easier. If you're new to my channel and haven't already, I'd welcome you to subscribe. That way you can stay up to date every time I post a new project video, which is every week. If you want to check out another one of my videos, one will pop up here, the other one right here, and we'll see you next week on Modern Builds.